Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this evening's update on Tropical Storm Saola/Goring. So, Tropical Storm Goring has formed in the western Pacific Basin, and as of 5:50 p.m. Central American Time, Tropical Storm Goring has maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour and is moving to the southwest. And as we go into Friday 1 a.m. Central American Time, Tropical Storm Goring is only going to crawl to the southwest, becoming a 70-mile-per-hour severe tropical storm. Going into Friday 1 p.m. Central American Time, an 85-mile-per-hour typhoon crawling to the southwest. By Saturday 1 a.m. Central American Time, Goring is expected to become a 100-mile-per-hour typhoon curving to the south. By Saturday 1 p.m. Central American Time, a 105-mile-per-hour typhoon moving to the south-southeast. By Sunday 1 p.m. Central American Time, a 110-mile-per-hour typhoon, and this time Goring is going to make a sharp curve to the north. By Monday 1 p.m. Central American Time, a 125-mile-per-hour very strong typhoon curving back to the northwest, and we could see a violent typhoon by Tuesday afternoon, 140-mile-per-hour sustained maximum winds, approaching the islands of the northern Philippines. So, a tropical storm Goring is going to kind of hang out in the same area for several days. So if you live across the islands of the Philippines and the northern Philippines, make sure you're preparing for prolonged impacts from wind and rain and storm surge from Tropical Storm Goring. So timing out the tropical storm force wind gusts from Goring, currently seeing about wind gusts between about 60 and 70 miles per hour offshore, with some 20 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts in the islands, and going over the next several hours as Tropical Storm Goring begins to rapidly intensify and move southwest. Winds are going to hug the coastline of the Philippines in the far northeastern corner of about 30 miles per hour. And then as we go into the next several hours, going into 10 a.m. Central American Time, August the 25th, and then as we go into the next 12 hours beyond that, the tropical storm force winds are going to remain just offshore of the eastern Philippines. And then going into the next several hours, going into 3 a.m. Central American Time on August the 26th, we could see some tropical storm force winds impacting the northeastern Philippines. And then going into the next several hours, going to 6 a.m. Central American Time, August the 26th, when Goring becomes a strong typhoon. Most of the winds are going to remain offshore according to the GFS model. And then eventually, as we go into 12 p.m. Central American Time, Goring is going to really intensify, but the winds are going to stay to the east of the Philippines for the most part, all the way through August the 27th. However, if the track shifts only 50 miles to the west, we're going to be seeing incredibly strong tropical storm, maybe even typhoon force wind gusts in the eastern Philippines. So if you're in the Philippines, make sure you're watching a tropical storm Goring very closely over the next several days, as this storm is going to wobble and is going to be very close to the Philippines. So next we're going to time out the rainfall from tropical storm Goring across the Philippines. So looking at the future radar, we are seeing some light to moderate rain across the northern islands of the Philippines this evening. However, as we go into the next several hours, the core of extremely heavy rain is going to remain well to the east of the Philippines, around the center of Tropical Storm Goring. Once it becomes a typhoon by early tomorrow morning Central Time, the rain is going to remain to the east of the Philippines with only some light rain going into the islands and the northern Philippines, going into the afternoon and evening on August the 25th into the August the 26th. We could start to see some light to moderate rain on the eastern shore of the Philippines as we go through the day August the 26th, approaching noon. The core of very heavy rain just barely staying to the east, but we could see some wraparound heavy rain push into the eastern Philippines into the afternoon on August the 26th Central American Time as Saola begins to intensify And then by the time we get into August the 27th, we're going to be looking at rain very close, the core of heavy rain just staying to the east of the Philippines, but still a little bit too close for comfort. So I'm going to continue to closely monitor Tropical Storm Goring over the next several days for my friends in the Philippines. So make sure you're really closely watching this typhoon if you live in the Philippines over the next several days. Now, before I close the video out, I'm going to take a brief look at Tropical Depression 8 West, which has 35-mile-per-hour sustained winds as of 6 p.m. Central American Time, going into Friday 1 a.m. Central American Time, 40-mile-per-hour tropical storm moving to the northeast, Friday 1 p.m. Central American Time, 45-mile-per-hour tropical storm moving to the north, Saturday 1 a.m. Central American Time, 45-mile-per-hour tropical storm moving to the northwest, Saturday 1 p.m. Central American Time, 45-mile-per-hour tropical storm moving to the northwest. Going into Sunday 1 p.m. Central American Time, a 45-mile-per-hour extratropical cyclone moving to the northwest and taking a sharp curve to the northeast, becoming a 40-mile-per-hour tropical storm by Monday 1 p.m. Central American Time. As of right now, the cone is keeping it well to the east of Japan and keeping it a weak system. So thanks for watching this evening's update on the Western Pacific Basin. Make sure you're really closely monitoring Typhoon Goring, or tropical storm soon to become Typhoon Goring, if you live across the central and especially northern Philippines and Taiwan down the road. Please stay safe and have a wonderful evening, my friends.